Here it goes. Yo, yo, yo. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, start that from the top. Boom. Check, check. We got some special guests in the building. We got Charles in the building. And let me turn this down a little bit. This is Charlie Parker. And he said, romance without finance. Romance without finance is the topic. I guess we gonna see if it's money and honey, if those things mix. So we on the Relationship Game podcast, on a relationship radio show. Relationship Game. The Relationship Game is a show today. The topic is money and honey, and you got me, your boy Charles, in the building. We got some special guests. I'm gonna bring them in and introduce them. But yeah, just shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Thank y'all for tuning in. So shout out to y'all first and foremost. Let me get y'all a round of applause. And cut that off. Anyways, and then let's get this show started. We just vibing out this weekend. Is MLK weekend, you know. So we had some birthdays. Let me shout out Aaliyah. Her birthday just passed. And let me shout out Muhammad Ali. Let me give both of them a round of applause. You know, Ashe. There's a couple other birthdays. I think I missed Ray J. Shout out to the legend Ray J.
Oh, I heard Sade's birthday was too.
Yeah. Oh, Sade. Yeah, Sade. Can't forget about Sade. Even though Sade is the band, not Sade is the artist. Well, that's what I heard on the internet. But you know what I'm saying? We always been calling it Sade, her Sade, but it's technically the band. All right, let me get into these bios. So to my left, we got my brother Free. You know, my brother Free out here just had a dope showcase last night. He actually opened up a what is it called? A
gallery.
Yeah, so he opened it. Yeah, so pull the mic towards you so that you ain't got lean. Yeah, so, pull like that. Yeah,
right here. Yeah,
just like literally. Yeah, I want you to. Okay, yeah, I want you to. Yeah, have right there. Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, so I want to be able to hear everybody hear you. So so he opened up a gallery. So this is Live Free. Be free is the mantra. Free lives by. When it comes to he's a young artist born and raised out in LA, and he's a young artist that has no restraints. And Free is known for his unique artistic eye that goes against the social norms by combining his strongest art forms, painting and fashion. Free, let me see, incorporates and juxtapose elements on the canvas, hats, jackets, shoes, and even furniture, which is lit. Like, I feel like I need a whole Free man cave. I got a jacket though. Him and Daniel hooked up one of my coats. I haven't let y'all touch my cowboy hat. I love that hat. Hey. But I actually been thinking about like what I want to do because I got a really dope cowboy hat. So yeah, Free is super dope. Free, I mean, if you ever look him up, it's PHREE. So if you look him up, tell me your Instagrams right quick.
Yeah. So this is your boy Free, PHREEART. Free art, but the art's not for free.
Hey, that's lit. So give it up for Free, y'all. Just clap it up real quick. Super dope. And then so on this artistic vibe that we are on, we got a dope poet and author in the building who's pulled up on us with her 2 poetry books. Give it up for Ashley. So Ashley is Ashley S. Johnson is a native of Bmore, Baltimore, Maryland, and a graduate of the HBCU Maryland Eastern Shore. She moved to Los Angeles for acting. However, she discovered an anointing for the writing process. Ashley is a published author of 2 poetry books. Her latest, The Power of Love, and is a bold reflection of heartbreak, spirituality, and new beginnings. In 2018, she made her directorial debut of a short film, Where is Mother? in 2020, Ashley is looking forward to telling more authentic stories through writing and directing. So everybody give a round of applause for Ashley S. Johnson. Yeah. Hey, look, it ain't too bad. That was a nice. Both. I didn't do too bad, right? Because usually Detroit usually does the intros. Hey, I'll be telling them, like I'll be like hooked on phonics out here, but by the grace of God, God bless me. So let's dive in. Actually, let me get some mood music, going so we could all just vibe out. So let's go with some chill vibes for the background. Hopefully it's not a commercial, because you know how YouTube sneaks those in there. But I see that. So Detroit, he says he was doing some DJ gig, but the reality is he's a 49er fan, so he's really just what else, Slav G? So he's really just probably celebrating the 49ers. Shout out to them though, because I'm from Oakland.
To the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they're going to the Niners are actually going to the Super Bowl, which is crazy.
It's my favorite team.
Really? Since when?
Since day one.
All right. Yeah, because everybody all of a sudden want to join the bandwagon, but it's all pictures. Good. Yeah, no, that's lit.
I got receipts.
Yeah, no, that's lit. I mean, I'm a Raider. You know what I'm saying? I got to ride out with my Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We ain't sniffing the Super Bowl no time soon. But the nine, at least at the end of the day, a team from the Bay made it. Whatever. It is what Cali. It is. I'm gonna have to. Cali,
West
Bay,
side.
Whatever. Yeah, West Side. We gonna take it off. We gonna take it off. Yeah. So let's see. Is there something? So when I start off with that, I start off with that song, "Romance Without Finance," right? And I wanted to see. So this song that I was playing, it was kind of. I was listening to this jazz mix, and I was listening to this jazz mix doing work, like when I edit. So I just kind of listened. So I put it on Charlie Parker. And I was like, wow, that's one of his songs. And it's a kind of a trip so it was like a dude saying that he couldn't get with a girl romantically, that if there wasn't like financially, like if she didn't have her finances right. And so I just wanted to see like your perspective on, is that a deal breaker? Like, is there no romance? Is it no money? Does no money mean no honey?
That's so crazy that is the topic today. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, my last relationship ended partly because of that.
Yeah.
We both just weren't in a place where we wanted to be financially. So it took a toll on our relationship. Yeah. So that's real. And I'm happy to talk about that today.
Yeah. And so you saying you both weren't like in a spot, right? So right. I'm saying like, so it wasn't just all him.
Yeah. No, it's just a lot of pressure, for a relationship, period. But then when you add the layer of not being where you want to be financially, that just causes a lot of stress. And you can't really focus on the relationship. Well, I haven't been able to. So,
like, what? I mean, what was what type of things what type of things are you guys facing? Like, if you guys are both like not, like you said, you're not in the place you want to be, like, y'all can just like kind of weather the storm kind of stuff, or was it more like, what was the things that you guys were facing that you felt like you couldn't overcome it?
Well, it also goes to like having a clear vision for what you want for your life. So I'm not going to just say it was the finances, but I mean, that played a role. And then for me, I knew what I wanted to do and where I was going, but he didn't necessarily know that. So it just didn't quite work out. Damn. So it was a short relationship.
Oh, short.
I got what I needed to get out of it, and then
What'd you need to get?
What did you get?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. One thing that I got is it's important to be with someone who knows what they want and have an idea of where they're going in life as far as their career and what they want as far as family and so on. Like, you have to have some type of vision. Yeah. So that's one of the things, one of the takeaways, like not to get involved with someone who's not clear on what they want in life.
The money, the finance played a part, but it wasn't. You saying it wasn't the main thing?
It was a combination of
Detroit. Look, he got his Niner gear on. I knew that. He says he was late because he was DJing. What was you DJing at a Niner party? This guy right here. Everybody, look at this guy. Look. You know what do I got a boo sound effect I could get this guy? No.
Hey, you can't boo him. He got the 49ers.
Look, I know. Where's the boos? Do I got a boo? Niners. I did a dun. The Niners in the building. Nah, congrats to the 49ers. The 49ers, you know. I know. Hey, when your team makes the Super Bowl, I get to clown your team. Hold on. I don't even got your mic on. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you good?
I'm good. No.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You can turn me up a little bit.
Right. So, yeah. So Detroit's in the building, as you can see, the deep voice guy. I'm the high pitched guy, whatever you call it.
Nah.
I switched. I kind of changed up the pitch or whatever. But so, anyways, we just first dove in.
How are you?
So
How you guys?
Yeah. I hope did you read their bios? They
I
sent?
did.
Yeah. All right.
I did.
So tell us all about Ashley then. Pop quiz.
I got
Look, see that this guy didn't read it.
I got a separate. I do have a separate question related, but I don't know where you guys are.
Yeah, so we kind of just dove in. Free was kind of chilling, but we want yeah.
I didn't get a bio for free though.
Oh, so Free, he just opened up an art gallery yesterday. It was like 10 million people.
Oh, where?
Yes, sir. Right down the street on Redondo and on Pico.
Yeah,
Right
Free, but you
gotta
either pull it. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, we right across the street from We Jammin, the Jamaican food spot right there on Pico.
Oh, the expensive one.
It might be a little expensive.
It's not a little.
What, really? What do you mean?
It's like $15.
For what? The napkin?
Jerk chicken. You
No.
know.
You talking about We Jam is expensive?
Hey,
Look,
We
bro.
Jamming is a spot though.
Is that the one with all the black people are in there? They're really nice and the food's really good. Yeah. No, that shit. That's not cheap.
Well, we
Put it like this: it's not cheap if you're not expecting to pay for it.
What?
Hey.
How do you go to a spot now?
Because somebody invited me to a place, and then once I got there and we ate, she was like,
So that bill is $20.
"You got no. The bill was more than 20. It was
What,
like 80
40?
something.
Really?
Whoa.
What'd y'all get? Something crazy. Man, you derailing my whole topic, man. This guy comes in
Right.
here. We ain't talking about We Jamming right now.
My bad.
Look.
My bad.
Come in here with this drama.
My bad.
All right. Anyways, shout out to Roddy Rich. You know, since we're sidebarring, Roddy Rich has got a little hateration, holleration going
From
on.
Justin, what?
Yeah, from Justin, from Selena. You know, they don't want to see
Some
this
Selena too. What happened?
Yeah, they trying to tell their fans different ways that they could try to beat the little stream
It's just
thing.
play that night.
Yeah, they try to get him to get out of #1, but we just playing this video online. Hopefully this little video playlist that we playing in the background on YouTube is doing something for the brother Roddy Rich. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him because he just a young brother trying to get it, just like the rest of
Bruh,
us. So,
it's 21.
you know what I'm saying?
Rich is all outdoors.
Huh?
Congrats.
What?
Just to him being young and rich. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so all right, our subject, we started off, it was a song I sent, and it was romance. It's Charlie Parker's and this dude Tiny Grimm, and he says romance without finance, you can't have it. He said there's no romance without finance. So we kind of just started diving in. Ashley says that she shared, hey, ironically my last relationship had some of that going on and it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So, Free is holding his cards.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to
What
hide.
time it is?
Nah, so what, you know what I'm saying?
You
is
cut
that,
me off, yeah?
Is there money? Huh? You can't hear?
No, I can't.
I don't know.
Nah,
It's the headphones.
For me, I feel that, when it comes to money, it definitely gets touchy in any relationship. I feel, people, it costs. Especially having a girlfriend nowadays. They be wanting to go to We Jammin'
Shots fired.
every day. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo.
But that's what I'm saying. So is there a way that y'all can grow together and just kind of build something where it's like y'all don't have to have it, y'all both under the understanding.
Flights cost. If you gotta fly.
Who flying people out?
Saying, I mean,
if they depends.
I had a girlfriend in Miami, New York.
Well, that sounds like a whole different
they gonna
situation.
Be like, hey, yo, what's
Yo
up?
bad.
When you flying me to Cali, I'm like, when you flying yourself to Cali?
They be like, what about Greyhound? You ever use Greyhound?
Bruh.
Greyhound
3 days on the bus.
You get some great deals with
3
that.
Hey, Handy, you hella
Hey.
disrespectful for that one.
Get on the bus, baby. I see you in 3 days. Like, nah.
I bought this Greyhound.
But
ticket for
going
you.
back to what you said, like, I'm down to building with the right person, but I feel like those are conversations you need to have in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. So how broke can you go? That's how I want to just
How
see.
broke can you go?
Yeah. Like, is it
Damn.
broke or broke? Like, I'm trying to see, like, could you still be like, hey, this, like, all right. So for example, the dude, one of our number one examples is the dude from Insecure. What's the dude? Team. What's his name? So, anyways, you know,
Is it Lawrence?
Yeah, Lawrence.
There
Team,
you go.
yeah, we was team Lawrence before he started tripping. but Lawrence, you know, for a minute he was broke, like broke. You know,
What if he about to get the bag?
but he ended up getting the
Right,
bag though.
right,
He ended up
right.
getting the bag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But she
didn't know that.
He was broke for about a good 5-some years. You know what I'm saying?
I
That
don't think I would have stuck around that long.
was
But
it. But then so now she wanted him back though, because when he grew up, he had a whole situation.
that's true.
I mean, I want to hear this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't
What
stop
if he
there.
on the way to the bag, like he about to be the next Bill Gates, but right now he's
struggling.
roughing it
He
out.
on the struggle bus. So I'm just wondering, is there like a threshold? Is there a level that you can go to where you like, all right, look, I'll rock with you because we got something going. I see where you're going with this thing.
Because I'm an artist, I have so much empathy.
And you sensitive about your shit.
Exactly. So I know the ups and downs in the industry. So I think I would be more open to spending more time making the relationship work than most people, just because I know the other side of like being an artist and the struggles.
In other words, you know what it's like to be broke.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely. Yeah, so that is money talk. You know what I'm saying? I definitely.
Well,
what you got, man?
I'm gonna put it like this: it's a per person thing, and it's a per situation thing, in the sense that it's completely vibe oriented. Like, put it like this: I make music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, part of my job in trying to become whatever the fuck I want to become, big, medium, whatever, in that origin, right? In that region, is finding an artist, because I can't send Drake a track and be like, hey, listen to my shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drake is too big to take out petty time to listen, no matter how good the track is, unless it comes across his desk and somebody plays it for him. It doesn't matter how good my track is, he'll never get it.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to find somebody I believe in, right? No matter how good they are not at that given moment. So if I have the best work, a best laid track at that moment, and they are not fully actualized as a talent, I'm going to stick by them and continue to give them. So somebody might be Keisha Cole, and I'm like, dang, the track is dope, but this nigga trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're going to end up being Keisha Cole. Thus, I end up sticking by said artist. That's what it takes to stick by.
What if they never break through?
So here's my point to that. It's about belief, and it's contingent upon I fucks with you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you make it or whether you don't.
But I think you're gonna make it,
Right.
because I believe in your talent. And so
I believe you I believe you have the talent to make it.
Yeah.
I see something, because again, we've all seen something in people that they didn't see for themselves, and eventually we have to get out, right? But whatever, if I see something in you and you see it in you and you're putting in the work to get there, funny thing about life is all that work being put in doesn't mean that you ever get there.
Yeah.
However, if I believe in you, I'm happy traveling the journey and trying to get there with you.
And so sorry to cut you off, but so we did our the love language quiz. You
Right.
did it before already.
Yeah.
So so then we tie this into the love language quiz. Is like when you take a quiz about like which of the five love languages best suit you. And so all three of us is words of affirmation. Which one's yours?
All of them.
All of them?
I don't think that's how the test works, but
Whatever the ones for actions is, I can't remember. Doer or whatever.
Like acts of service.
acts of service probably, huh?
I suppose if that's the one that provides most action, then yeah.
Yeah. So when you're somebody that's like on the come up, and you want somebody that's like believing in you, and that's even though they might not be able to like give you certain things, or I can see how somebody that's like, all right, I can't pay for the dinner, but I believe in you, and I think that one day will be
Right.
something great. So you're gonna probably be willing more to deal with somebody that's really kind of like believing in your talent or pumping you up more so than somebody that's just like trying to just buy your way in or whatever, right? So is that a part of the process of like an artist that is trying to meet somebody and get into a romantic situation with somebody, you think?
Yeah, that's really important for me. In my last relationship, I felt like, because I always affirm people, so I was like expecting that in return, and I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, this is really
We
important.
talked about that too.
Yes. This is really important to me, so I don't really care about the gifts and all the other stuff. Like words of affirmation, I know that that's my love language. So
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to gifts too, I mean, you think of like the materialistic aspect of like a watch or a car. I mean,
Yeah.
everything depreciates, but when you appreciate somebody, I feel like that holds the value. Like, when you really appreciate,
Especially if
what
you
they-
believe in them.
Oh yeah, and I mean when they believe in you too, it's like
Yeah.
you guys are continuing to uplift and build each other up. So that's why I'm like, I feel that was spot on with me for sure.
Yeah. I can dig it.
And what I'm saying, I want to hear you. Do you have a poem or some bars? He actually spits bars too. I wanted to see if there is. Do you have anything that's pertaining to finances that could?
I have a question pertaining to a poem that you wrote.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
hear
Okay,
that.
questions
I want to hear the
good.
poem too, though.
I want to ask you, why do you consider yourself an ambivert?
Who?
Ambivert. Okay, so
What is that though?
I'm about to break it
Oh,
down
okay,
for
okay.
you.
Right, because you seem a person very declared on either or of the side. Not that I can look at you and say you're either or, but you seem a person that's very clear on which side you stand on. So for you to be, because I'm a Libra, both
Okay.
balanced about it. I'm curious to know.
So
where that
for
poem
me,
came.
naturally, I'm an introvert. Yeah, so ambivert is a combination of an introvert and an extrovert. So I love to perform. I love to be on stage. I love to speak in front of people. So that's like my extroverted part. And then my introverted part is more like one-on-one type situation.
So you're like
that
the
makes
opposite of
sense.
Summer Walker. You're like, you actually like to be out there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you're an introvert, and she
Shout out
doesn't
to
like.
Summer Walker.
She doesn't like to be out there, but she has to.
exactly.
I don't even
So
think
that
she
makes
has
sense.
to now. Shoot,
You know
nowadays.
that was very. The choice words was very peculiar to me because there's such thing as a ambisexual.
Oh,
What is that?
yeah, I never
It's
heard that
It's the
before.
same thing. She's an introvert and extrovert. There's this person that likes it.
Like expedition?
No.
what is
It rivals pansexual and bisexual very close, but they're people. If you know, they're a pansexual, but they really don't have a preference of. Essentially, they're pansexual. Like they don't have a preference of sexuality. They could be asexual, where they don't need it at all. They can go. They can go completely without it and not care, and never be touched, or they can be touched every day. They can be all that can apply to equally a man or a woman. And so when I came across it, I was like, that was very mercurial, as I said. But go ahead and read the poem.
But Shad, thank you for reading it and like having questions and everything.
That's good, man. I'm giving him. Look, can we give Detroit a round of applause for actually?
Give me no round. Thank you. I don't need a round of applause. But go ahead.
Okay, so it's a quick poem, y'all. It's called Ambivert. Caught between introvert and extrovert. Call me Ambivert. Gift and a curse. Yes, I'm an empath too. What could be worse? Self-inflicted suffering. Staying in my bubble, I always win. The pains of the world are like pouring alcohol on a fresh wound. Learning to exist in a space of love, joy, and discovery. Love, joy, discovery, and bliss.
What inspired the poem, and where were you when you wrote it? You know, like what was your place? You know what I'm saying? What was your thought? What was your place of mind when you wrote it?
Probably like just getting a better understanding of who I am. Like I used to like kind of
Sorry.
I don't know what that was.
No, that was random.
I used to kind of like, look at it in a negative way that I'm an introvert. And I'm like, no, that's not a bad thing. We're all different. And I'm like, okay, well, I have a little bit of extrovert too. So just put it together and you got me. So that's where I was when I wrote it.
You know, Wale had a line in the song. He has a song called Love, ... And he said, it's funny how quiet girls do nothing until they do a lot. And that reminds me of what you're speaking of. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
I get it.
Appreciate it.
Give me share another that I haven't read.
All right. Okay.
I want the book.
Okay, I'm about to read a really short one, but it's powerful, y'all. It's called Created a Man. I'm in here with all men, though, so I don't know about that. I created a man that didn't exist. My dream of who you were and who you could be never matched reality. So, yeah, I feel like...
That sounds like the truth.
It is the truth.
That sounds like you could have named that natural plight of a woman.
I'm like, can I hear that one more time?
Okay, let me put it on repeat for y'all. Created a man. I created a man that didn't exist. My dream of who you were and who you could be never matched reality. And for me, that just means like sometimes I don't see people for who they truly are. I just have an image in my mind of who I think they are when they're really showing me who they are. So I'm creating someone who doesn't really exist.
You know what another title for that poem could have been? You know what I heard when I heard that?
What?
Society.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
It's a macro. It's a macrocosm, a macro version of society. So many of us are put in this big old box of. Again, Trayvon Martin was killed because he's big and black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
hoodie,
You must be innocent, quiet, and demure because you wear glasses and you look studious, right? There's no possible way you can be an extrovert. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many of us are read before we are even actually talked to.
That's true.
To be read. You know what I'm saying? To be inferred or inquired about. And a lot of life's disappointments come from something that we conjured up based on what we've seen.
Yep.
We fail in marriage because we don't know the struggles of what it really takes to sustain it. We look at it and we all say, oh, there's bells and whistles, there's a white dress, there's a ceremony. I want that. But we don't know what comes with it to actually want that. You know what I'm saying? We look at the person that says, I don't want to have a child that's selfish because she doesn't want to procreate or he doesn't want to procreate. When in actuality, they may know themselves better than anybody and accept the fact that they're selfish and they don't want to give back to anybody. So in hearing that about something that you created that didn't exist, I had a conversation the other day with a young lady and I was telling her about her son, not her about her son, but just about young men, period. I said, I tell my son, I'm very clear with my son because I don't want him growing up with a falsehood of what life is. And I said, the one thing that I think women and movies, romantic movies, have failed at is really how to approach and get a woman and how to sustain it. A lot of times when we grow up, there's a guy, great smile, good job, very romantic, doing stuff that a nigga would never really do. You know what I'm saying? Going great lengths and miles that a nigga don't even know how to go, let alone do it. Find a woman that he really gonna do that for, and we don't identify with that. Although you gonna walk out in the streets and see an ugly dude with a pretty girl. I had my brother was not the most attractive person, but he had the most beautiful women on his arm consistently. And every time I asked, what was it about my brother that got you? Not what kept you, because I know he's a good man, but how did it get you? He asked. He approached. He asked. And
put in his, you know.
And a lot of us feel like certain things, like we attach a certain thing to beauty, like that's out of my league. I'm not equipped, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that she has the insecurities that we have, and she's normal, and really she's as lonely as probably more than the average female because she is so pretty and nobody will approach her. I've met plenty of women that said they date women because men won't approach them. That's out of recourse. But movies don't tell us how to be an average man.
I don't think movies is the way to go.
That's not the point.
I know. I'm just saying. I think it's not.
But what I'm saying is, movies touch a mass. You know what I'm saying? Movies touch a mass because there could be a woman out there that's teaching a kid how to, or women teaching kids how to. But an overall consensus is judged and driven by media. You know what I'm saying? And movies and society. And more times than not, it's a man messing up. Man.
Tyler Perry movies, especially.
Yeah. It's a man messing up.
Shout out to Tyler. You know,
right. You know what I'm saying?
We don't get the best.
And the Fall from Grace. I like the Fall from Grace.
Oh, I need to see that.
Yeah, I gotta see it, but we don't get put in the best limelight. This is saying. You know
we don't. But again, movies in general, you know what I'm saying? It instills in us that we're fuck ups, we're dogs, and that for the most minute version of things that we do, we have to go the greatest mile. And that's not always how life plays out. A lot of men are jaded because women don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? Women don't go the extra mile that it takes to come back in their life for them to forgive them or to forgive all of them. More times than not, if he was to mess up and he was with you, he's gonna go out the box to do what it takes to show you. You, however, you're gonna say, I'm sorry. You're gonna apologize and have sex and think that that's supposed to cure it and be all. And vagina doesn't cure all. But I don't think women know that.
Well, yeah, I don't have that mentality, but
yeah.
But you know, you know what I'm saying? Like holidays, birthdays, Valentine's. Most men, if they don't get a watch, they get vagina. You're laughing. You're laughing because you know it's true.
No, Free is just looking like, hey.
I'm like, yo.
like,
yo.
where's this going?
You know what I'm saying? And there's no telling what trial and tribulation that happened in between that she was responsible for, that she didn't make up for. She covered up for, but she didn't make up for. Because Lord knows, had he done what she did, not only would the whole world know, but he would have to come big, boisterous, and, you know, bring horse and carriage. Buy the house, buy the ring, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I definitely can't relate to that, though, just because I believe in apologizing and saying I'm sorry and, you know, doing what I need to do to make things right.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I have a question, though, on another note, if
Go
you don't
ahead.
mind.
Hey,
Since I have a
please.
room full of men, I realize that there is like an influx of men.
I'm the only married one, though.
Okay.
You're still a man, Charles.
No, I know. I just want to, you know.
I'm a married man.
Yeah,
So I can't speak to certain things.
There's a lot of men that are like trying to tell women how to get men, like writing books and these gurus and like, you know, all these public speaking events and workshops to tell women how to get men. Like, I want to know, like, why do men feel so empowered to tell us how to get men. Like, you don't see women out there like, y'all men need to do this in order to get women. It's just,
But we do.
Yeah, we do. And can I look?
yeah, please let me know, because I see more men trying to tell women how to get a man.
Excuse me. Let me share on that one. So there was actually a really.
I wasn't even gonna answer.
There was actually a really good book by P.J. Wilson, I believe her name is P.J. Wilson, called the Knight in Shining Armor. And so it's a book. It's like one of the few books I actually read cover to cover, like right away. But it basically was like recommended to me from one of my my cousins who we were in the discipleship group together. But essentially, this book is talking about how a woman should find her knight in shining armor. And so it's a book from a woman to a woman, but we read it as men to basically see, like, okay,
see what they're saying, get a point of view.
Yeah, and say like, okay, if this is the woman this is how she is, this is the man that she's looking for, so this is kind of like the man I need to be, or whatever. So we read it for that context, and lo and behold, like, we both end up married, or he was married, I ended up married, but it was essentially like a woman telling another, men, like, kind of similar, like it was two women, but essentially men could use it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that. Sorry, my kombucha. No, it's just water. But yeah. So I think that honestly, a lot of times there's blind spots, and especially like it's certain things that you could just see like so clear as men, because we done it a lot of times. We done ran the game, and we were like, and obviously like a lot of times women might be like, all right, if you're in a bad situation, say for instance a relationship situation, you might be like, why is this guy, you tell a dude like, all right, so this will happen, I met him here, we've been doing this and that, and then you break down like, yeah, and then he stopped calling me, whatever the case, however it breaks down. And the dude probably would, especially if the dude's been like dating and knows, the games, he'll be like, this will happen. He's probably married or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is. And he'll probably be like 99% right. Because he's like, knows like, okay, this is why he's not texting you after 10 every night, because he's home with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Whatever those scenarios are that breaks how they break down. So if a dude like a Steve Harvey or even Kenny Burns for a while, he was doing it with this another dude that writes poem, that I think he was engaged to like LaToya Luckett or something like that. So I forget his name. But yeah, so there's people out there that they probably got a lot of girls at one point, or ran a lot of game at one point, or they just been around people that ran game, or whatever the case is. And so they know, like, all right, even my sister, sometimes I'll be trying to tell them certain stuff. Obviously, like, you want to tell them stuff, you see what's going on, but at the same time, you just gotta feel the burn for yourself, because it's like you're not gonna leave this guy once you already been sleeping with him, you fell in love with him or whatever. You're just gonna have to experience this heartbreak for yourself. But most likely we're gonna tell you something, and it's gonna end up pretty much how we told you it's gonna end up. But sometimes you just gotta feel. If we say the fire is hot, you be like, I want to feel the fire.
Like, you speaking into existence.
Yeah, I want to feel that. I gotta touch it. I gotta touch that fire, and then I'm gonna maybe even touch it again. Just to make sure it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
And that's how it is.
Let me hear what you got to say over there.
I don't understand that. I mean, I tell girls that all the time. Like, they like to. I guess touch the fire sometime, and I'm like, I'm telling you, that's not the dude you want, though. Like, I mean, a lot of times, you look for people with these qualities, or I don't know. I feel like growing up, I feel like I've kind of grew past the insecurities of like not being what other people wanted me to be, but now, I feel like having the confidence is what really allows you to get the person that you want to get. Like, like how he was saying, oh, my brother may not be the cutest guy in the room, but he he gets the baddies. Like, you know, and it's like, yo, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
You know, how does he get them? And you know,
and why are you? That's kind of a little bit of a hater to ask, but I can't lie, but. Whatever.
I mean, I've been
you
with
you over here asking him how's he getting. Like if he comes in there with a bad chick and you like.
No. Me and my brother had a contest one day, and we were in the South Bay Mall back when it was cool, and he was like, I just turned 18, and he was like, all right, we're gonna see who can pull the baddest. And I knew for a fact, like, well, I look better than this nigga. I got, whatever. Like it was just, but I can remember once she told me that, I can remember passing on several women that I thought were too attractive for me to approach.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was just a life lesson to me. And then after that, it made me think back to all the women that he had dated, and I was like, they were stunning.
Yeah,
great jobs, good career, and they loved him. You know what I'm saying? He was just.
I mean, I think of that quote. You ask and you shall receive. So, when you ask
closed mouth don't get
the
fed.
right person, and you approach them in the right way, you can't be coming up to them like super aggressive and being like, yo, baby, da-da-da-da, running game. It's like,
yo.
They're going to be like, ew. Like, and every girl I feel like feels like that. They just want to be talked to
so
like
you
a
can't
regular.
Hold up, you can't go like this?
In your head you could do that. I mean, damn, I be doing that in my head all the time. Like, but I'm not gonna be like, damn, girl,
yo, baby, what it
must
do?
have fell out of heaven. Like, I feel like it gets mad corny. It gets so corny to where people be like, nah, like
there's nothing genuine about it.
I'm good, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. I feel like if you lead with, being authentic to people, you can get not just women, but anybody, like, in the sense of like what you want from them, like, any business meeting, any job, like, you having that confidence and understanding, like, I have the qualities and what it takes to get this done, and also to provide for you in a way that's going to make you feel special and loved and everything like that. But also, I feel like what we're talking about with the 5 love languages, it's a thing that everyone has their own different one. So you can't just assume that you're in love with them the first day. I mean, I had some girls that they said, oh my God, I love you, like in the first day. I'm like,
oh hell no.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think I need to run it.
What do you love? Like that's
but that's what I feel like makes guys have to go and run to get out, because they're like, oh, she said she loves me the first day. Like,
and that's a whole nother situation. But to answer your question a little more directly, I'm an actual question, then answer your question, right? Do you believe any transgender woman could tell you what it's like to have a menstrual?
No, absolutely not.
So that's the equivalent of a woman trying to give a woman absolute advice about a man, more so than a man, as it pertains to a man. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So,
I didn't know where you was going with that, but that was
that makes sense.
I feel like we're
sense.
saying the same thing somewhat.
Not quite. You're questioning.
So, maybe we're confused.
Break
the
it down
question?
for me.
Reiterate your question.
I was wondering why men feel the need to constantly tell women how to get a man, and you haven't walked the shoes of in the shoes of a woman. So how do you?
Because they have walked the shoes of a man. At the end of the day, right? And that was my whole point to the situation. Like, a transgender woman feels in every bit of way that she is a woman, and she could have every exact feeling that you guys have. Again, we do have the XY chromosome, so she could have all of that, except she can't bear a child and doesn't know what it's like to have a menstrual. So there's still hormones that she's absolutely missing that contribute to you being a woman. So when it comes to being a man, I know exactly what I want, more than likely what he wants and what he wants. And so when you go to give your advice to a woman about how to get a man, how is it that you're more accredited than I am? And I'm the man that wants to be gotten. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like me reading a book and reading an accreditation, right? You have a child. I don't know if you have. Do you have a child?
No.
Okay, but let's say you did, right? Or prime example. Let's say you don't have a child, but you wrote a book on how to take care of children, and then your mother has not written a book. Who advice do I want more? The person that wrote the book that doesn't have kids, or the person that has kids?
Right.
I want to go to the person who has kids and that has been through it, because they know exactly what it is to go through having kids. It's the exact same thing. I'm a man.
But I get what you're saying, that we don't. But she's saying that we're not women looking for men.
We don't have to be women looking for men because we're men.
Right. That's basically their point.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just saying I would appreciate like getting advice more from women who have successful relationships.
Look,
but I feel like that's another thing. Like with the love languages, each man may be different, so it kind of eliminates like that as like a question in a sense, because I might like he likes actions and I like affirmation. So you trying to get both of us may fail because you're
right.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to please both of them. And I don't think it's about like pleasing in that type of way. Like I said, if you bought me a watch and all that, yeah, I'm gonna like it, I'm gonna enjoy it, but
it may not be the love language that I need.
Yeah.
And the way that you're talking may not be the language that we speak. You get what I'm saying? I've saved. Let's turn it around. So many women. I have a best friend who has saved me from making the ass of myself plenty of times, right? Because I thought what she was saying was X, Y, and Z, and she was like, "How in the hell did you get that from what the fuck that she was saying? That's not what she was saying." Well, that's what I heard. But she's like, "No, that's not what she was saying." And only because I trusted her, I took her advice. Then, to the girl I was talking to, I seemed smart and aware. But in the back of my head, I'm like, "Whew, that was a close one." Glad I talked to my female best friend first. I'm a huge advocate of any girl that I date, you need a male best friend, because you don't know everything that I desire. If a man's job, quote unquote, so to speak, is to steady a woman, right? And Nip said this in one of his interviews, and he was like, women get to be inconsistent, irrational, and emotional. Men don't. We have to be logical and steady. And if that's the case, listening to advice from an irrational individual about a steady man doesn't steer you necessarily in the right direction, because you don't know what's. Again, hey, I can give him the right advice about you, and I can know that his emotions are different, but I'm going to have the wherewithal to give him, "Hey, Charles, you shouldn't do that, but I understand what you're doing. But I wouldn't do that if I was you because X, Y, and Z." I'm not saying no women are like that, but a lot of women are. A lot of women, it depends on their situation and where they are in their life. You know what I'm saying? I could be single and give him, "Hey, Charles, you shouldn't." He said he's married. "Hey, man, I got this chick I want." "Charles, you shouldn't do that. You're married." "Yeah, but you be out here with every woman." "Yeah, but I'm different. You're not. You have it better off than I do." You know what I'm saying? Or you're in a different situation. Like, it's not applicable.
I mean, I wanted to ask Charles this. How do you know when it's the right time to marry? You know? How do you know when it's this is the one? Like, I know that this is wifey.
So for me, it was a lot. But shout out to Monica. She's been chiming in. So shout out. Let's see. She says it's about being important enough to each other. I think she was saying that to you. She was like, so true. Shout out to Monica. She is chiming in. So yeah, for me, with the marriage thing, honestly, I kind of made up in my mind when I was 25. Like I was like gonna be open. I was like, by the age of 25, I'm gonna be like open to finding a relationship that was gonna turn into like a marriage, or potentially turn into it. So ironically, I actually met my wife on my birthday, my 25th birthday. So it was like, because I already had my little time where I was turned up and all that stuff. And then for me personally, I was like, I kind of knew in my mind that I was like, all right, I met like through my dating process. I'm like, you know, you meet different people, but somebody it's hard to come by like genuine people that like, all right, personally
fucks with you.
Like okay, this person genuinely cares about my well-being and me as a human, and is gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, this is a genuinely good person type of thing. So then I'm like, I don't want to continue to like pass that up, because, you know, obviously you can keep trying to search for the bigger, better deal, or ooh, this, you know, you're always gonna find, oh, this person has this, or they drive that, or they live in it, or they got this family, or whatever those things are that kind of make you kind of bounce around. But then, like, that was a big thing for me. So I was like, all right, so other stuff we could work on. If I just kind of go off the premise of this person, you know, is a good person, good human being, rocks with me. That was my like genesis of like, all right, let's kind of go down this road together and kind of see where it takes us. And then lo and behold, like, it was a couple things that just like our connection wise, it's just like, all right, this from our first meeting, really, I kind of know like this has potential to be something. And then lo and behold, meeting her family, you know, that was like, so this person I met in LA, you know, I'm like, all right, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, who knows when I get to, you know, she's shout out to my wife family, they from Duval, Jacksonville, Florida. And so Duval, so so I go there and I'm like, who knows what I'm gonna see, or if it's gonna be like some whole different person or persona. But it was like, no, this is genuinely the person I'm meeting, is like, this is the person that she is with her family, with her friends, and the different situations. So then that's also what made me feel like, all right, this is, now I can start this, because I had in my mind, I had a plan, like, all right, I want to be on this journey, because like, I just want to be on the journey, and I want to be on the path to this journey at a certain point. And then the thing that took us over the top, which was we were going to get married. But I knew it was that time, because I knew eventually we were going to continue to be just dating and have all our stuff separate, essentially, and our finances and living arrangements. And I'm like, you know, I'm ready for us to take it to that next level. And I don't want to have another roommate, and I don't want us to be roommates. Like, we're not roommates. We're trying to start a life together, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and so I wanted to like start that off into a situation where we're not just like, oh yeah, so it's the first of the month, where you're half of the rent, or where you know, it just felt like that's going back into another roommate situation. And I'm like, nah, if I'm having a family, I want us to be, you know, one household, and just like figure things out together. So it just was accumulation. That's how I say. That's the best way I could put it. Hopefully it was long-winded, but yeah, shout out to me, shout out to my wife. Yeah, shout out to Free for the question. But essentially, yeah, it's a process. It's not an overnight process, but I definitely think that getting on the path is a specific kind of mindset in general, because, you know, you might go into a situation and you just see like you go into a strip club, you might meet somebody of your dreams, but you go to a strip club, a bar, whatever. You know, we met at a lounge. You know what I'm saying? At a record release party for a friend of ours, a mutual friend kind of thing. So who knows? But it's just also, if you're open to it, I think it'll happen better than you just kind of go into it like every other situation where you're like, yeah, I can smash tonight. So I'm, you know, like it's going to be a different interaction.
Experience.
Yeah. So that's my long-winded answer. Why? What you think? You think about jumping the broom?
Hell no.
Hell no.
How old are you?
I'm about to be 29 in March.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
man,
look 22, easy.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. So he trying to get away with all that young stuff.
You
man.
look 22, easy.
Look, I was by 29. I was married, and 30. I had my son.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in situations, and I mean, like I said before, I was in a relationship with a girl. We was together for like 8 years, and I was like, yo, she's gonna be the one. Like, yo, like, you know, I really did want to marry her, but I mean, there was just a lot of things that kind of happened through our relationship, you know, and it kind of just led to us just kind of unraveling. Like, you know, I felt like the connection was there strong, and I mean, we're still friends to this day, but I mean, us getting back together, like, I mean, probably not. Like, you know, just because
she's out here, or it was a long distance thing, or
no, she was out here. Like I said, we kind of started off from high school. You know, we went. You know, I kind of was in my whole college years was with her, and she was still kind of in high school. So, you know, when she kind of got out, she was kind of like, oh, I want to experience the world. Yeah. I want to like party and drink and turn up and do all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, damn, like, I gave you, like, everything that I had in the beginning, and now I'm, like, almost burnt out now.
Let's ask the lady in the room about that. I mean, I've experienced it. He's experienced it, and I've seen it in multiple places. Why is it that when a man identifies great talent in a woman, this could be the one, but we're young, we're willing to give all that up and marry, and when a woman identifies that, she's more along the lines of, if it's there later.
You know what? I don't have the answer to that because I did the exact same thing when I was younger. I was with a man who was like perfect looking back, but I'm like, no, I need to go out and explore and, you know, just live my life and see what else is out there.
Yeah.
And,
but her whole family
what
was
so perfect
you should
about
marry
her?
this man. Like, this man is the one. And they're like, you didn't have to go kissing a bunch of frogs to find out. And they was telling her, I'm like, damn, I mean, I guess I'm a little
society.
Crazy. But, you know, everybody just thinks like, oh, I got to see what else is out there. And I mean, when you get out there, I mean, she recently told me after, like, yeah, my last relationship was
it's shit.
Well,
right?
that's I will admit, it is great. A lot better. As a dude, you're in or should I say, as a good dude, you're in a lot better situation if you're dealing with a girl who's had her heart broken, because of the fact that she will, if she's like kind of like with. Like,
I feel like every person should go through a heartbreak.
Yeah, if she's had her heart broken and been shit on in a relationship situation, then hopefully the things that you're doing that are the right things and the good things, that she is able to see that and not just see it as like, oh, he's just another fuck nigga or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just like, all right. But also, if you are heartbroken, you know, my biggest thing is I'm not doing crime. I'm not doing time for another man's crime. So that means I'm coming in with a clean slate. This guy did whatever he did, but that is not, I don't need to be like, oh, I gotta curfew type situation.
But you know, but trauma's trauma, and everybody responds how they do to trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's any of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody broke our heart, and the new girl comes in, she has a clean slate, and if she does something reminiscent of something that the last girl did that broke my heart, hey, why would you even do that? And she's like, well, because X, Y, and Z. Like, I had no intent. Like, there was no malintent behind it. And he was like, oh, okay. And then you come out with, because the last person, and you're like, well, that's not me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that does happen to everybody. I would just advise every woman, because I've been podcasting for 7 years now, 7 years now, or whatever. And one of the ones that stick out to me was, one of the interviews that stuck out to me was Keith. I feel like his last name was Stewart.
Actor, bro.
Yeah, he's the actor. And he was the actor.
He was a Power Ranger.
Yeah, he was a Power Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day.
And he was
Black one?
he was Nunu's boyfriend in This Christmas. When
okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so the black dude, and he was living in Kentucky or whatever. He was an actor and traveling across the world, and you know he thousands of women. You know, good dude, can sing. You know, handsome. You know, like he had it all, but he was like, I just didn't set it up for anyone. But then he found a girl, and she wasn't out here. You know what I'm saying? But he flew to wherever she was. consistently. Like whatever time had to be made in between his schedule, he flew to go see her. And that's a person that has status. He has some money. And he dropped everything for this one woman because he identified her virtues as different. I would advise women to do the same. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I mean, men aren't really as vain as women. You know what I'm saying? Like our looks, our personal looks to us don't really matter. Like we're more built on providing, and once we can provide for you and ourselves, like we don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as you tell us you like, hey, you handsome, we could be the oldest dude in the world. You know what I'm saying? We don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of other things matter to you guys than it does us. I would say take heed to that because one, men don't forget. So one, trying to come back to a guy is harder because the older you get as a male, the better you get. You know what I'm saying? Like the older you get, you go from pursuing to being pursued. He's 29. I can remember being 28, 29, still wondering, you know, who I'm gonna see in the club tonight. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to now, like I'm apprehensive about it. Like I don't know who's going to approach me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even worry about that because I know older women are so much more aggressive and they're forward. Hey, look, this is what I need, this is what I want. Can you come tonight or not? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can you give this to me or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very uncomfortable feeling from what you've learned all your life as them being the hunter.
As an older.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Charles, you're over 6 feet. Cool. That's all I need.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What?
It's definitely changes as you get older, and then the women's even hormones biologically change, especially around 35. You know what I'm saying? It just becomes like this whole other thing where you're like, dang. Anywho, look, it's the relationship game. You know what I'm saying? And we've had some dope guests, and we want to, we want to stay connected. So. Free, start with you. Any last words? What you got going on coming up?
Yo, I'm just so thankful to be here. The relationship game is a great podcast for me, just because, like I said, I feel like dealing with a lot of relationships, people don't really get to hear that dialogue and have that communication. And I feel like that's one of the biggest keys in a relationship is having that communication as clear as possible so that there isn't no misconceptions or anything. People can misconstrue some words real quick. I thought he said, she said, and then you do some crazy stuff. So, for me, like I said, I want to just thank you guys for having me on here.
All day.
You guys can find me at Free Art, PHREEART.
I'm going to check you out.
Yeah, Free Art. And check out the gallery across, what is it? Said it's
Little
across
Amsterdam Coffee. It's an art gallery coffee shop. We right there on 1412 South Redondo. Like I said, I'm there every day.
Across the street from We Jammin, right?
It's right down the street from Roscoe's. We Jammin.
I used to live
where are
there.
you from? How far are you from the Legacy Lounge on Pico and Redondo? Because the Legacy,
it's like literally around the corner.
This is because there's a clothing shop, a boutique that's right there,
and then there's a gallery next to that called Matter Gallery, and then like we're all connected. So their backyard goes to my store, like right in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
what time do you guys close?
I'm pretty flexible with the gallery hours. I mean, I do a lot of appointment only things, but also just like, from the coffee shop side, we close, like today we closing at 5:00. Okay. But we definitely stay open depending on like what may be going on. And like I said, we're going to change the whole aspect of what people perceive as an art gallery and a coffee experience. Like, it's about
I love coffee and I love art too. So
they go
I DJ over
hand.
there all the time.
Okay,
so,
pull up.
I just left there the other day.
I'm right there. Like you'll see it says coffee at the top. Like,
we park in that alley in the back.
Yeah, that parking lot.
Yeah, so y'all gonna have to
definitely
connect.
Scared
neighbors.
Ashley S. Johnson, what's the word? What's your last words? What you want to leave? Could you leave us with a poem? Well, actually, Detroit. I was
gonna let her do it.
No, I see how you turned your neck a little bit.
Because I knew you was going there, so I was gonna say let me talk.
Oh,
and then let her end it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
Because she has the book,
she
and
has
I
an actual poem. Book.
There you go, and I want her to.
So Detroit, what's your last words, man?
To the last thing that you said, people say I do for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love you is not the same across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So fuck with somebody because you fuck with somebody, or fuck with somebody because they fuck with you genuinely and heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like they like you against their will. That's when you know you should be with somebody because they can't help loving you. And if you can't help loving you, they can't help loving you, then that's love. Everything in between that is contingent upon.
Yeah.
Because we get to the altar and we say I do, but finances come into play. Like he said, there's no honey without money, or whatever the quote was. He said, you know what I'm saying?
No honey without money.
Right. But when you say I love, when you get to the altar and say I do, that's till death do us part. So breaking up for money really doesn't make sense in between that.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I want to end. Thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. I just want to say I agree with everything, and I appreciate y'all both pulling up on the Relationship Game podcast. I want this to continue to keep going. Shout out to the brother Roddy Rich out there. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Yeah, I kind of keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Some people might say I'm antisocial. No, I'm just I'm not antisocial. But what I will say is I do keep it simple in business as well. I like who like me. You know what I'm saying? And that's I know it's not like super deep, but it's kind of like what I do, and it seems to work. You know what I'm saying? So I put myself out there. You put yourself out there, but once you get a certain level of seasoning, you do gotta have a mindset of knowing like, okay, this is genuine and this isn't genuine. And once the largest part of our brains is the frontal lobe, and that's basically a lot of that is dedicated to like authentic relationships and interpersonal relationships. So with that being said, without further ado, shout out to Roddy Rich. Get that first number one album. We gonna stop the music, boom, and we gonna go to sorry, I was trying to do the air horn. That was the wrong one. Well, we're gonna go to Ashley. She gonna
all right.
She gonna leave us with a poem.
Okay, I just want to say thank y'all for having me. One of my favorite topics is relationships and love, so I'm just happy to be here. I learned from y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
You can get my new book, Power of Love, on Amazon. Power of Love and Privilege of Love on Amazon. And so I'm gonna leave y'all with a short poem. It's called Exhale Fear, and it goes a little something like this. I will have no regrets. I will live a full life. I will breathe in love and exhale fear. I will march with pride. I will be heard. I matter. So I just want to encourage everyone to just live your best life. Do the things in your heart, your passions, follow them, and dream big. You can find me on Ashley S. Johnson _ on Instagram.
And there it is. Another show. Hey, stay connected. We out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.